Well, hello to all my American Horror Story historians. My name is EJ, and welcome back to my channel. If you are not subscribed to my channel, make sure you are because I am covering each and every episode of American Horror Story Delicate, and I will be covering American Horror Stories, the anthology coming up for this Halloween season. I'm actually pretty excited for that, even though that series is infamously hit or miss. We'll still get to it, but for this week, we are jumping into episode 3 of Delicate. We are talking about When the Bough Breaks. You know, overall, I've been pretty positive with American Horror Story Delicate. I think it's overall, so far, been a pretty decent ride with some fun, campy moments. Actually, this is pretty high camp if you think about it. It really serves some interesting moments. It makes me think. There's some really fun, like visual storytelling. I think some of the visuals that are being presented are very memorable. But this week's episode kind of, it felt like it was just spinning its wheels a little bit. This is definitely one of those episodes that feels like it was supposed to be a longer episode, maybe a bit more jam-packed. I wouldn't necessarily call it filler, but it just kind of moved things on at a slow pace. It wasn't until the very end when we started actually getting communications between what I believe is Preacher and Anna that I really felt it coming. And honestly, there wasn't enough Siobhan in this episode. Kim Kardashian is still, I don't know, maybe it's just the way she speaks. It just works for me. There is definitely something here, and I know people in my comments last week were like, oh, she's been so bad. I don't know what y'all want. I just think she's fun. Everything just comes off naturally. I think there's a different acting style to her that doesn't feel as produced by something like Emma Roberts, who definitely feels a bit manufactured. There was one moment where she kind of snapped at her Dexter husband this episode, and I'm like, there's the Emma Roberts I love. There's the not nice Emma Roberts. Give me more of that. Anna just feels like everything is happening to her. She feels like such a passive character. Like, maybe, again, it fits the story. Everything's happening to her, and she's just kind of a victim of her circumstances. But by the end of this episode, I'm starting to see her really push through, and I actually hope we see Anna become a more fulfilling character because she's boring me to death. Her and Dexter are honestly some of the least interesting leads. I thought the ones in Red Tide were pretty weak, but this one, I'm not connecting with these leads. But it's weird because I like the story. I like this universe. I'm really involved in the Preacher. I'm loving trying to figure out who's on whose side. Like, where now we have Nicolette, played by Michaela J. Where's she falling into? Where's Siobhan? Where is the doctor? Where is all of these people? Whose alliances are with who? And that's keeping me intrigued. Again, this season is hit or miss for the most part. Way more hits than misses, but this one to me is the first kind of meh episode I've seen. The episode begins and we're dealing with the ramifications of what happened in the last episode with the supposed miscarriage. We're also getting more of those dreamy, hazy visuals of Emma Roberts and the demon baby just hanging out, giving me very Midsummer. I love the soft indie movie aesthetic of those dream sequences. Really stands out in American Horror Story, and especially with the other aesthetics that we're presented with this season. So she's dealing with the ramifications. She's dealing with Dexter, who is giving me nothing. He is purely the husband who thinks he's doing the most, and he's actually doing the least. It's so insufferable, and by the time he's just like, go into the woods, and then he's like, why were you in the woods? And I'm like, I cannot deal with Dexter. Anna can't either, so she decides to leave where she's at, goes into the woods, runs into Preacher. Preacher's like just chilling in the trees, and I'm like, what is my girl doing? This also introduces the wonky time stuff. Really, it's weird to see Anna lose as much time as she's losing, and that's not really explained. I want to know what's going on. He says it's the medication she's on. I say there is more shenanigans happening with her just blacking out in these gaps of time. I'm not even going to talk about the mutant pimple upon her face. I'm just more worried about what the hell's happening with her time stuff, and this just really throws her off. So he decides, let me call Siobhan over. You guys are going to have some girl talk. The girl talk, Kim Kardashian once again comes in and gives me something this episode. We get Michaela J. Rodriguez, formerly known as MJ Rodriguez. She was the lead on the show Pose. She's playing the house manager? What does that mean? Just say she's the house mother at this point. Give me some kind of what the hell she's doing here. But she's the house manager. She also is kind of like, here's this wonderful gift basket that's been brought here with totally, eat the apples Eve kind of vibe. What's going on here? I. There are so many characters. Like, who is who? Why is the sexy bodyguard here? Is he working with Michaela? Like, legit, do they work together in the house? Or are they working together outside of this? Dexter is also like, well, Anna, let's invite your best friend over, Siobhan. Siobhan's just like, girl. Again, real talk from Siobhan being like, stop playing the victim. Let's figure out what the hell's happening. We have to start your Oscar campaign, and we're getting you the cover of Vogue. And I'm like, Anna Wintour would never. Anna Wintour would look at Emma Roberts and go, that little beam of her, and then kick her out. Like, I cannot fathom why Anna has this career that she has. That's the most unrealistic thing. You can give me creepy, weird witch ladies on the beach. You can give me spider babies. I don't care. But the fact that Anna is during an Oscar campaign for a horror film, getting the cover of Vogue and wearing that Madonna dress to the Gotham Awards, shenanigans. The biggest lie AHS has ever told me. As Siobhan goes to call Anna Wintour, more lies from this show. Oh my goodness. We see another creepy doll of Anna on the beach, so Anna decides to go hide that in the basement. She also finds some baby books. She's in the basement. She's kind of vibing. She grabs some wine. She goes down there and finds a creepy door. And of course, this dumbass white girl in a horror film goes into the creepy door. Why? Why? But why? You may have had a bit of a buzz. That does not excuse mistakes like this. She goes down the creepy door, finds the hallway of dead babies, then finds this little operating chair with the stirrups. She gets thrown into it by the masked women, and they do something to her. We don't know what it is, and it's like, oh my goodness, I thought these women were trying to protect her. Are they now trying to hurt her? Who is evil? I like that notion. And again, if you've read the book, please don't spoil anything in the comments. I'm not trying to do it. I will read the book after, which I'm excited for. I think the story, again, is very solid. So after they inject something into her leg, Anna wakes up and she's like, oh, I feel the baby moving. And I'm like, sure. Then she runs into Nicolette outside. Nicolette's like, hey, what's going on here? Anna's mouth is bleeding. And again, mouth bleeding, the sore on your face, the weird phantom baby pains. What is happening? She calls the doctor and he's like, oh, this is fine. She Googles bleeding mouth and she's like, wow, this is a good symptom. It's like me trying to deny gingivitis. I'm like, girl, your mouth is messed up. Your body is messed up. What is happening? She goes out for a walk in the store. She's trying to have a good time, runs into the baby section. Another time jump. Another creepy what the hell moment with the witch ladies. She's very confused. That one lady at the store, the way she was touching her, I don't know how pregnant women deal with people just coming up to touch her belly, but I would swing on people at that point. I cannot handle it. But she says she feels the baby. Anna gets more confirmation that she could possibly still be pregnant. She goes into the car, but as all that happens, the sexy bodyguard's driving her around. She sees that one artist lady that her husband was friends with. Dexter's going on a lunch date with her or dinner date with her. I'm sure it's not going to be an affair. I don't trust her, though. And that's what Preacher says, because Preacher just keeps popping up everywhere. She was like, don't trust the woman. And I'm like, ooh, there's a clue where alliances are. Preacher is so obviously trying to help Anna, and it's pretty cute. I hope she ends up being kind of fun. I like this character, like her in the tree, her out here looking like the bird lady from Home Alone 2. She's giving me a lot. Like, Preacher and Siobhan are the characters that I'm like, give me more and more. She ends up going back to the house, Anna does, and starts using her brain. Oh my god, Anna getting smart. This is where I'm telling you. I start liking Anna by the end of this. She decides to start messing with a calendar, which she knows people were messing with. She changes her password, so she knows it's just whoever is in her little, weird technology bubble, and they're giving her messages through the calendar. Is it Preacher? She says something, they're trying to mess with your baby. Your baby's still alive. Anna ignores, all the creepy shit that's happening and goes, my baby's still alive. And I want to support a woman having a baby, but she's not using her brain. The end of the episode ends up with, I don't know, dead animal carcass, Nicolette in the background. What is happening? what's going on. And it's a good point to go, because now by the end of this, I'm starting to see where things can go for next episode. She's going to reach out to Preacher. She's going to start figuring out who's who, where's going on. Is it witchcraft? Is it just the doctors versus the weird women trying to help her? Why are all the men seemingly so out of the loop, but there's some women who feel evil? I'm very confused again by alliances, but by the end of this episode, I actually feel like we're gonna move somewhere pretty slow. 40 minutes of an episode, pretty slow, but there was key moments here that will carry me through and makes this episode just okay instead of not like great or anything. Well, that is it for this week's episode. Thank you all so much for joining me. I had a wonderful trip to New York this week. I was looking for delicate clues. I was able to go tour Carnegie Hall. I saw the film Bradley Cooper just did, Maestro, at the Lincoln Center with Leonard Bernstein's family. Bradley Cooper was in attendance. It was so wonderful. You guys can check out all that stuff on my other channel, Flickering Myth. If you're not subscribed to that channel, girl, there's interviews, there's other movie reviews. Check out my stuff on Flickering Myth. Also, Ken Doll's here. I am Knuff. You guys are Knuff as well. Thank you guys so much for joining me. What did you think of this episode of Delicate? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel. Make sure you're subscribed to my other channel. Just keep up with EJ. We have a lot going on. I might even be reviewing another TV show that aired tonight. We'll talk about that very soon. All right, everyone, like I said, subscribe, all that jazz. I love talking about this episode with you guys. I love talking about AHS. Even the most blah episode is so fun when I'm bringing it and sharing it with you all. What did you think? Comment. Let's go. Let's talk about Delicate and when the bow breaks right down below.